Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Bailey Braun, and across the state and especially in Anchorage, it is frigid cold. Especially if you've been outside, you know what I'm talking about. But of course, it's nothing to compare, especially into the interior where your lows are dropping to nearly 40 degrees below zero. So we have a lot to talk about today, especially in terms of these temperatures, how long they're going to stick around. But in Southeast, we know that there is a lot of snow on the way. You've already seen a lot of that snow. So if you do live in the Southeast, why don't you comment? Let me know where you are and exactly how much snow you've seen or what it looks like outside. I would love to know, especially as we get into our forecast. Now, I wanted to start off, of course, with our sunlight data. We are at that point of the year where we're reaching up to nearly 10.5 hours of daylight. So that winter was worth it, especially now that we are back to having these sunny days, and it's super nice, especially with all this sun that we've been getting. However, it is at the cost of these colder temperatures, so you know, it's pretty cold. Even though there are more days and more sunlight out there, it is still very frigid. So right now I wanted to show those current temperatures, especially across Anchorage, only reaching into the single digits and even towards Hillside, just a little bit colder at around -4 degrees. Now, if you're outside at Ferrandi, where they should be doing the fireworks tonight, or if they've already done that, but I think they're doing that in a little bit later. It's definitely cold. So be sure to bundle up, layer up as much as you can. I know you might think you only need 2 or 3 layers. That's what I thought yesterday, and it just wasn't enough. So be sure to wear your layers. It's important, especially into the interior and across the state. But this cold trend is closing out our February. We started off fairly warm, up to 15 and even 20 degrees above normal at the start of February, and now at the close we're nearly 25 degrees below normal. So it's feeling cold out there. It's really feeling below normal, and even into Fairbanks we're seeing this trend starting off the month with temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees above normal, and closing out the month with temperatures about, I'd say, 20 degrees below normal. So very cold, and we're off to a very cold start to March. This is going to translate directly into next week. We're going to see more of these cold temperatures, especially into the next few days. So brace for that. Now, an aspect of these colder temperatures is that wind chill. So brace for more cold days and more of this wind chill, especially through the weekend. We do have a few areas where we have some cold weather advisories for wind chill as low as -45 and even -65 degrees. But I just wanted to show you what it's looking like currently with that wind chill at -54 degrees in Dead Horse, and feeling much colder than normal into areas like Kotzebue and Bethel, where you're sitting 25 and even 30 degrees below normal for that feels like temperature. Across the state with our weather alerts, these areas highlighted in light blue, you can see that in the North Slope, areas of South Central, and even into western Alaska. This is where those cold weather advisories are lingering. So into portions of the North Slope, wind chill could reach as low as -65 degrees through Sunday for areas like Bethel, and even into parts of South Central, reaching up into the interior. That's where temperatures are going to feel a little bit more like -45 and even -50 degrees with that wind chill. But you might notice it's pretty calm across the state except for Southeast. That's where we're seeing the bulk of these warnings and advisories. So winter storm warnings and these winter weather advisories are going to last through tonight. However, they will most likely be reissued for Sunday as the next storm approaches. What you've seen today is only the first of 3 storms that are going to roll through in the next few days, so brace for that. But you can see on our radar really popping up with lots of heavy rain and snowfall into areas like Sitka with that little red flash. That's lots of that heavy rainfall, but lots of that heavy snow is still pushing across areas of Juneau and even other northern portions of the Panhandle. Currently into Juneau, temperatures are sitting around 25 degrees, so at least wind is fairly calm, but I know that about noon today, the National Weather Service measured about 7.5 inches of snow, and it's only going to go up from here. You're going to get much more snow. Snow totals were likely to reach up to 12 inches by the time the storm was done, by the time Monday morning rolled around, but that's looking like it's going to be a little on the heavier side, especially since you have another 3 to 5 inches of snow likely overnight tonight and into tomorrow. So that's for Juneau and areas like Sitka, even up to the north. Be prepared for more snow overnight. But like I mentioned, that was just the first of 3 total storms for the next couple of days. Across the entire state, cold weather and cold temperatures are really the main headline, staying relatively dry and clear. Areas of the eastern Beaufort coastline are likely to get a little bit of snow overnight tonight, but that's about 1 to 2 inches at most. Your main concern is going to be that reduced visibility, and that's why there is a blizzard warning for areas along the Beaufort coastline. But for southeast Alaska, you're going to get that next introduction for the storm moving in Sunday afternoon around lunchtime. That's when that's going to push through, and that's going to continue through Sunday into Monday, and then you're going to notice that it's not over just yet. More of that snow pushing on in before that next storm moves in from the south, working its way up. So beginning in Ketchikan, where you're likely to get about 1.5 inches of rain over just the next 32 hours or so. But you can see that it's just going to be a few days of consecutive storms back to back, bringing that heavy snowfall and even that heavy rainfall. So get ready for more of that wintry precipitation. It's just important to keep it on your radar, especially as next week approaches. Now, you have been having temperatures just a little above normal, or a little below normal, and that's aiding in the fact of bringing in this heavy snowfall. So this is that projection from tonight all the way into Tuesday afternoon. And if you're paying attention closely, you might have noticed that it doesn't really stop. It just kind of keeps going all the way into Tuesday, and I can even try to take it back a step so that you can see it. So if you pay attention here, this is that storm track that I just showed you, but then zooming in just a little bit more, let's see, just wait for it, it's coming. When we zoom in just a little bit more, Saturday night you catch a break Sunday morning, but then the snow returns into Sunday night, continuing all the way through Monday with those scattered showers, and then Tuesday it's really just going to be a fairly wet day. Snow and rain pushing through the region. Snow sticking around to the central and northern portion of the Panhandle, more of that rainy mix pushing across the southern portion of the Panhandle. As we look at these snowfall totals, you have another 3 to 5 inches like I had mentioned, but with our computer models, they are expecting just a little bit less than that, pushing across for Sunday, but the National Weather Service is saying 3 to 5 inches, so prepare for that. And it's also important to look at what our computer model is saying, because that's another way to check out what snow is likely to do. Into the overnight hours, snow is likely to peak up just a little bit more, and then you'll notice that it does plateau just a little bit, and then it picks up right back where it left off into the overnight hours Sunday into Monday, and then you're going to get another several inches of snow. You can really see that with our GFS model highlighted in yellow. It really starts to skyrocket. So yeah, just be prepared for more of that snow on the way. It is going to get pretty heavy, especially with all of this accumulation you've been getting the last couple of days. So again, let me know where you're at, what your snow totals are looking like. It'll really help, especially for tomorrow's broadcast, to be able to tell you how much more additional snowfall you'll get on top of whatever it is that you have right now. So for southeast in this regional and zonal forecast, more of that snow and wet weather is likely to hit you for tomorrow. You're going to catch a little bit of a break, especially if you live in areas like Skagway and Yakutat. That's where you're going to be partly cloudy. Wind gusts will pick up to 25 and even 30 miles per hour, but then as you work your way south, just little by little, into Haines and Juneau, that snow is really going to stick around for the morning hours, clearing up maybe during lunchtime and then picking right back up where it left off into the afternoon. High temperatures are sitting in the 20s, but then as you get a little further south into Sitka and Petersburg, that's where temperatures are warming up a little bit. So in the overnight hours, that's when you can expect to see more of that snowfall, and then as temperatures warm, it might transition into a little bit more of that freezing rain mixture, but into Ketchikan, it is still significantly warm up into the 40s, and that's where more of that rain is going to stick around, especially for the next couple of days. So I wouldn't be too surprised if there would be a flash flood warning or advisory, just due to how much rain you are going to get in the next few days, but that's just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying that's going to happen, I'm just saying in general. Now into the interior, mostly sunny skies sticking around, but these temperatures are sitting just about 15 to 20 degrees below normal, and I'm sure you're feeling that, even reaching as low as 30 degrees below normal. So very sunny, but very, very cold. And into the overnight hours, with these more clear skies and these cold temperatures, you might be able to see the aurora, so try to check it out tonight if you can. Into the North Slope, anywhere north of the Brooks Range, really. This is where we're seeing a little bit of that snowfall pushing through, but just very light snow flurries are expected. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour, but these high temperatures reaching as low as -8 degrees into Dead Horse, and that is also where that blizzard warning is for that blowing snow and frigid wind chill. Now as we move into western Alaska and even into southwest Alaska and the Aleutians, this is where we're seeing mostly sunny skies, and these mostly sunny skies and just clear skies are going to stick around for the next few days. So into the work week, brace for more sunshine ahead of you, but also those frigid temperatures. So I know that Brian, you had asked about Bristol Bay region. This is what you can expect, especially as we head into the work week, just more of these sunny skies. Bethel and the Kuskokwim Delta are areas where we have a cold weather advisory for that wind chill as low as -45 degrees. So just prepare for that. Of course, anytime you have these frigid temperatures, anytime there is gusting wind or just stronger winds, that wind chill is going to make it feel a lot chillier. So for areas like Gamble and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to butcher it, Savunga, this is where you're going to see these partly cloudy skies, but still, that's mostly sunshine there for you. So high temperatures sitting at 0, if not above 0 for Gamble, and even into Nome, that's kind of what we're seeing, and that's going to continue just a little bit more. Now into areas like Bristol Bay, Dillingham, even reaching down the Alaska Peninsula. This is where you're seeing mostly sunny skies, but then as you begin to travel a little further south and west from the Alaska Peninsula down the Aleutian chain, that's where cloudy skies begin to build just a little bit more and more. Areas like Adak and Atka, just further out west, that's where a little bit of snow is likely. You're really only going to get about 1 inch to 2 inches of snow. That's going to be through tonight and into tomorrow, so don't expect too much snow, but those wind gusts are going to pick up to 40 miles per hour. High temperatures reaching up into 30 degrees in Adak, and then only sitting in the 20s for areas like Unalaska and up the Alaska Peninsula. Now for South Central, mostly sunny skies ahead, clear skies, and again, that adds to that radiational cooling overnight, which just makes it feel even colder. So clear skies overnight gives you a good chance to see the northern lights if they are out, but just keep it on your radar that those are the sky conditions for tonight, and that's going to continue into tomorrow, and really the next few days across South Central. We are seeing more of these sunny skies and colder temperatures. In Kodiak, you're actually the warmest area of the region, so enjoy that 29 degrees because the rest of us are not quite there just yet, but you will get a little bit of flurries. Only about 2 inches of snow are likely for you at most, but winds will pick up to about 15 to 20 miles per hour, and into the Copper River Basin sitting in the teens with mostly sunny skies. Winds not too bad, so you can enjoy just the sunshine and the cold temperatures. But into the Matsu Valley and even working your way down into Anchorage, this is where temperatures are barely reaching up into double digits, if that. Anchorage's high temperature for tomorrow is 9 degrees with that overnight low tonight reaching 8 below. So again, be sure to bundle up if you're out at Ferrandi or doing anything outside tonight. It's going to get cold, but these overnight lows are supposed to be about 5 below at the coldest for the next couple of days. So prepare for that. And then into the work week, we are still sitting with these colder temperatures. But then by Thursday, and you can keep this on your mind for Thursday from Anchorage all the way into the interior, that's when temperatures are really going to pick up. So be prepared for this. That's something to look forward to. But into Fairbanks, like I mentioned, Thursday, that's when you're going to finally reach the warmest that you've been for a little while. But then into Friday, even warmer, reaching up into positive temperatures. Overnight lows sitting 30 to 40 degrees below zero tonight, and even into Sunday night, but mostly sunny skies are ahead for you all the way into next week and even into the midweek. But for Juneau, most of that snow is still heading your way. So again, this is really the only region where we're seeing any kind of wintry precip and especially stormy conditions. That's really residing in Southeast Alaska. So prepare for high temperatures to reach up to 27 degrees for Sunday, and then sitting really close to that freezing point on Monday, but still more of that snow on your way, especially Monday into Tuesday. That's going to be a big weather day for you. So prepare and just keep it on your minds. But then into Friday and Saturday, you should dry off just a little bit more. So be ready for that. And before we know it, this cold spell will be over, and we will be so happy to be back to these normal temperatures, because I know that these temperatures right now are very, very cold and not super enjoyable. So if you enjoy these cold temperatures, it's a great time for you. If you don't, it's really not a good time. So Yeah, just keep it on your radar. More cold temperatures into next week, so it's not over just yet, but we do have that slight warm up by Thursday and Friday. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on what the forecast is looking like, and we'll see. Maybe we'll reach back up into normal temperatures by this a week into March or so. So again, tonight is the last night of February, and then we're jumping right into March with that cold start. So I'll give you this view over Anchorage for your send-off for tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your night tonight.